Even more censorship is coming to Canada, believe it or not. Northern Ontario is starting to look like Trailer Park Boys. And half of Canadians' income basically is going towards taxes. So welcome back to the Freedom Pines podcast. I'm your host, Jamie B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like independent voices like mine. And let's get into today's video. So this bill is C8 and it is the where is it? Hold on. Critical Cyber Systems Protections Act. To provide a framework for the protection of critical cyber systems of services and systems that are vital to national security or public safety and that are delivered or operated as part of work, undertaking, or business that is within legislative authority of Parliament. It is, among other things, this authorizes the governor and council to designate any service or system as a vital service or vital system. Authorizes the governor and council to establish classes of operators in respect of a vital service or vital system. Requires designated operators, among other things, establish and implement cybersecurity programs, mitigate supply chain and third-party risks, and report cybersecurity incidents, and comply with cybersecurity directions, provides the exchange of information between relevant parties, and authorizes the enforcement of obligations under the Act and imposes consequences for non-compliance. What does that all mean? Guys, I read that. I don't know what it means. To me, I could make a bunch of assumptions. Doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. And to me, this part where it says provides exchange of information between relevant parties, how did they already do that? Okay, is this about... Because here's the thing. We need cybersecurity. As somebody who has been frauded... Somebody broke into my Instagram and almost got in. When someone breaks into your Instagram and then they can potentially break into your email, they got you. They got everything about you, and that includes your banking information and your CRA and stuff. Okay, so we do need cybersecurity. I will say that. But is this going to infringe on the rights of Canadians? Do I trust the Liberals? Who's implementing this? Do I trust the Liberals? Oh my gosh. But I also have to just point this out that if this is just for the government, why the hell didn't you already have this? We've already had a breach of our information from our CRA because we let government officials work from home on unsecure networks, and we've already had a breach of our information with the CRA. So, can someone please tell me why this already hasn't been in place? And there's no blaming Harper for this, okay? Because that's a thing. Okay, it's a literal trend right now on TikTok to blame Harper. So I'm going to read more of this today. I'm going to actually have my phone read it to me because I don't have glasses to read this small of things. So I'm just like reading this right now and it's giving me a headache. But some people have sounded the alarm on this. So if this is something that you want to look into, Bill C8, please look into it. If you do, let me know and make a comment and let me know what you guys think about it, because this is something I'm just kind of sounding the alarms on, because we all know that the Governor General can just shove through a bill, apparently. By the way, in part of this, it says number 14, it says Nuclear Safety and Control Act. Guys, come on. What do you mean? We should have already had that. So I'm not saying that that is necessarily bad. I don't trust the Liberals, so I'm going to look more into it. If you guys want to look into it too, help me decipher what the heck those things meant. That would be great. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Northern Ontario. A few things have been happening up here that I think people need to know about. First of all, the most hilarious thing ever happened yesterday. So my neighbors got their driveway paved. And so the guy comes over, drives the truck over with a yellow light on. So I'm thinking, oh God, the city's here to kill my cats. Not kidding. And he's like, oh, do you want, there's extra asphalt from your neighbor's driveway. Do you want a good deal on asphalt? And I'm thinking like, do I look like someone who you are supposed to be asking this question to? No, my husband I asked him, when are you going to be here till? Like, how long is this going to take? And he says, oh, probably till 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, okay, yeah, come back in a couple hours and my husband will be here. He's like, okay. And he's on his merry way. I pick up my husband from work because naturally his truck is broken once again. And I tell him like, oh, someone came here, and he's in bed scrolling Facebook before he's going to bed. He's like, oh my gosh. And he shows me, and it's like, if you had someone come to your house today trying to pave your driveway, please call the city because they're an unauthorized business. And then my husband looks at the cameras and he's just dying laughing. And yeah, and I think to myself, that's really crazy because it's funny that they're so keen on getting these people who are running this business, but so many of us in this area have been scammed and they don't give a flying crap about it. But, if there's a business, and, by the way, my neighbor's asphalt driveway looks good. Now, you guys tell me, is there a way of faking a nice looking driveway? Like, could they have used cheaper materials? I don't know if they're actually scammers. But even in the video, he's literally like it's cash under the table. And I did think it was a little strange. They did look like they had a lot of undocumented people working for them. And that always raises my red flags because please don't exploit people. But other than that, I'm literally like, the things that they choose to focus on in our area, shocking. Okay, we had somebody get off of a bus and try to unalive his ex-girlfriend. It was already on bail for trying to unalive her stepdad. Yeah, so, and it's brutal, like it's brutal, but yes, please go after the people who are trying to have a business. I just laugh so hard. Like, I really hope that my neighbors didn't get ripped off. I told my husband, I was like, if I go talk to the neighbors and they got ripped off, I'll report them. That I don't mind doing that. I am not in the business of helping scammers, I'll tell you that much, because the amount of times I've been scammed and just screwed over living in Canada is insane, which leads me to my next topic. Oh, by the way, too, I will just say this. A certain logging mill just got invested in, and it didn't make any news, which is crazy because you would think that any little bit of company investment in any Canadian, well, I guess it's an American company, maybe not. An American company owns this, but they're investing in a new green end of a logging place up here, and nobody showed up. Not MarkCarney, not Doug. Despite it being a huge deal this is a huge investment, which is crazy right now in Canada. So that happened, and then there was a mudslide. A whole road got taken out. A whole road. You can just go to the end of one of the towns up here, and it looks like a dam. No news. Okay, guys, you know what? I agree. Northern Ontario doesn't matter because we don't to anybody. If you guys have any stories of Northern Ontario you want me to share, let me know because I love sharing Northern Ontario stories. I love living in Northern Ontario. Wait, I have one more. Or did I tell it? It was about when we were going to Temagami the other day, and there was 2 Indigenous people with a flag. Maybe I did tell this. A guy whips over, goes to see them. I think that he's going to attack them. He doesn't, thank God. They just have a conversation. Then we get past construction. There's an RV in the ditch. 9 cop cars going through the construction. I turn on the Broadcastify because you bet your bottom dollar I am going to turn on the dispatch because they do not report on anything in Northern Ontario. Lo and behold, some guy on rugs with a machete, with a gun, attacking his girlfriend. So that is Northern Ontario. And I think it was literally right where we were because I didn't see the cop cars go that far. The lights stayed on. So very crazy things happening in Northern Ontario right now. I will just say that. But what's even crazier is our taxes. Can we just, okay, why did they use this picture of Pierre? Like, he literally looks like an infant. This is what PierrePoilievre's profile picture is, and this is the picture that they use.
You're spending more money on taxes than on food, clothing, and shelter combined. That is the finding of the Fraser Institute's July 22nd, 2025 report, and it reports on last year, which shows that the tax burden of Canadians is up 2,784% since 1961, so just over 60 years ago. And that bill is vastly outstripping the bills that you pay for everything else. I'm going to quote directly from my laptop in this report. Taxes have grown much more rapidly than any other single expenditure for average Canadian families. Expenditures on shelter are up 2,100%, food up 927%, clothing up 460%, but the tax bill is up to 2,784%. So an absolutely staggering amount of money.
Yeah, so you heard that. You heard that. You heard the inflation on food and clothing and shelter, right? Did you hear that part? That is what living in hell is like. Living in hell for me, like, thank goodness I believe in Jesus Christ, because I think it would be just this right now over and over and over and over again. This is the bad place. What do you mean food's gone up that much? I keep telling people this. They literally tell me no. And not only is our food inflated that much, but our taxes are taking almost half of our paychecks. And then they come up with random things to, say that you owe for. Oh, you took the wrong care package during the panini press. Sorry, you should have taken CERB and you took the caretaker benefit. You now owe us that money back plus interest. So, even if you were going to get a tax return, no, you're not. We're keeping it. It's ours now. Living in Canada is a joke. It's a joke. And I think that we're under some sort of sick experiment to see how much they can put us through before a population snaps. What else? What else is the end goal here? Before the population snaps and they just break us down so much that communism is implemented. What else? And I just don't understand. Why would the left like a bunch of millionaires at the top owning stuff while we are peasants at the bottom? What is that? At least in capitalism, there's a chance for people to live a good life in the slightest. And I am not, like, you guys know that when it comes to social services, I received social services as a single mom because I chose to have my daughter, and I didn't go for, what is it called? Child support. So I was just a single mom, all on my own, and I was able to go to school. Okay, I was somebody who was able to successfully use those social programs to get myself out of a bad place and be a contributing member to society. Unfortunately, that was taken away from me because my health was taken away from me. But here I am, earning an income. Google is now my boss, which is a little bit intimidating. But yeah, so and to justify it with the social services that we don't access and that we're not allowed to be upset that new Canadians are accessing better than, like, more social services than us. Not allowed to be upset, but also punished into poverty for the climate while they take their private jets. Like, okay, maybe I'd be able to take this a lot more seriously if you guys just stuck to your guns and maybe did meetings over Zoom, but instead you guys get together in Davos and Grindr and all of these dating apps. Usage goes through the roof somehow, some way. So yeah, while we become more and more peasants, and while people tried their damn hardest to save this planet all on their own, as somebody who was one of them who has plenty of reusable bags even before we were mandated them. I will say I did use plastic bags, 1 week plastic bags, 1 week reusable bags, because I used those plastic bags. I actually did use them and recycled things with them. So I'm not convinced that GLAAD and Trudeau didn't like get together and have a meeting and be like, you know what, we're gonna ban grocery bags so that GLAAD small trash can bags can go through the roof. Anyways, guys, how much have you guys noticed? If you guys are here and you've watched your money go, I don't need to know details, but how much was your grocery bill? I think I've asked this before. How much was your grocery bill or hydro bill in 2019 versus now? I bet it's different. Mine is, and I spent money on food. Like, I was vegan, my kids were not. I bought all organic. I bought a lot of food, and still my groceries were like $200 a week. So, and that was a lot. People were spending a lot less. Anyways, guys, this is the second video I've made today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you tomorrow. Maybe Saturday though, because tomorrow my husband gets paid, so we got to go get some hella groceries. I need to get hella groceries tomorrow, and it's gonna cost a fortune. So I'll be in fight or flight mode all day. Maybe I'll come back and make an angry episode or be inspired by something that I see on the way, but if not, then I'll be here Saturday to make a video for you guys. But thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.